On Wednesday in Athens, a 77-year-old pensioner shot himself dead outside their parliamentary building because he couldn't live in dignity anymore. His government had slashed his pension to ribbons to pay back bankers. That's where we've got to, and it's coming here unless we fight back.
So are you saying that the people, in your view, local people don't really want the Olympics?
I don't think they do. The reality of it is that there's no benefit whatsoever to anybody.
You mean from the Olympics?
From the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't come round and asked me what I want. He's telling me what I want. He's telling me what the people want. And from that, he's taking that.
Who's telling you that?
People like Seb Coe.
The greenest and most inclusive Olympics ever is bringing wealth, well-being and happiness, not just to East London, not just to the capital, but for the whole nation.
You know Anish Kapoor, he did the wonderful installation in Tate Modern Gallery of a rising sun, a great sun in the Turbine Hall. He's one of the most successful modern artists.
Are you saying London 2012 doesn't benefit anybody? Come on, it must benefit somebody.
I don't know. It doesn't benefit me. It doesn't feel like it benefits the people I talk to here.
Has it benefited any of your friends?
I don't know. Some people applied for tickets and they applied very, very hard and they didn't even get tickets. And they're
so have any of your friends got jobs with the Olympics?
No.
Well, come on, there must be somebody you know that's benefited in some way from the Olympics.
I don't know anyone. Do you know anyone?
No.
One of the Caesars of ancient Rome was asked what to do about the people. He replied, "Just give them bread and circus! Bread and circus!" One of the London Olympic legacies, Westfield Shopping Centre, the largest shopping centre in Europe. Shopping soon to become an Olympic sport.
It's supposed to represent how an athlete, how he or she trains.
Command perimeter security system, sonic cannons, water cannons, attack dogs, sniffer dogs, fast patrol boats, drones, battleships, bombs, missile batteries, snipers, sidearms, firearms, special forces, fighter jets, no-fly zones, control zones, stun grenades, stun guns, uncover personnel, uniformed personnel, biological agents, double agents, close protection, protesters, anarchists, jihadists, domestic extremists, foreign extremists, self-radicalized individuals, terrorist cells, prison cells, anthrax, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, organized crime, disorganized crime, dissident Republicans, rubber bullets, CS gas, and nuclear detection equipment.
You have to break some eggs to make an omelette. That means some people's homes have to go, they have to be demolished, and they have to be ground up into little pieces. We can do that kind of thing.
They are trying to build over Leyton Marshes, which has been public land for ever.
This site has just been requisitioned by the Olympic Delivery Authority for the construction of practice basketball courts. It's an area of around 2 hectares or so, and local people are completely up in arms that this land has been taken. It's a favourite spot for recreation, dog walking, all this kind of stuff.
And it's my escape from what I feel like the city is. I come over that bridge to get into the green space. There's so little green space in London. It's been really precious, which is why I'm here, because I'm really disappointed and appalled by the destruction of the land.
For me, going on the marshes is my peace of mind. Is you know, when I'm there, I don't have to think about anything on this side.
I think you've had some tough times.
Yes, I have. Lost my husband to cancer 8 years ago. He turned 27 and then died in my arms, in my flat. And then 6 months later, his brother was stabbed and murdered just up the high road opposite the petrol station. So I walk out my gate and I go left. I don't go up onto the high road. I don't like being on the buses. I have panic attacks. I don't feel confident anywhere apart from coming out into the green areas where I can be calm and peaceful.
London Olympics, London 2012 is good for London. What's good for the Olympics is good for London. So surely, you know, this may be locally unpopular, but if it's good for the Olympics, it should go ahead.
Well, it's highly debatable whether the Olympics are good for London.
So, David, are you saying you believe the London Olympics doesn't benefit anybody?
Yeah, except for the multinationals that are involved in sponsorship.
That's a rather bleak view.
Well, it's a rather bleak event.
When you're dealing with people who know the price of everything and the value of fuck all, it's a bit difficult. Our arguments require more thought.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, main complaint in this situation is that the local planning authority and the council, and indeed the Olympic Delivery Authority, have not sufficiently understood the needs of the local population, and they've gone in and done something pretty undemocratic and against the will. And then there's nothing in place really for the people to do anything about that. The amount of money and resources and legal support these institutions have means that no small community group like the Campaign to Save Leyton Marsh can effectively challenge the system and change or do anything about it. So then you're left between a rock and a hard place. What do? So that's when, you know, I think that peaceful civil disobedience and non-violent direct action is validated, because at that moment, if the purpose of the laws and the institutions of the state are to reflect the needs of the people, and they don't, then it's up, and they don't reflect truth and justice, then it's up for the people to take action to show what is truth and justice. And that's what the Campaign to Save Leyton Marsh was doing. And two women stood on Sandy Lane in their 60s, and they just stood in front of lorries for 5 hours.
Is that how it started?
Yeah, well no, that's how the direct action element of the campaign started.
A lot of people don't like the London Olympics, and that includes local people at Leyton Marshes who started playing bulls as a means of blockading lorries. Then people from the Occupy movement got involved and the tempo ramped up.
Oh yeah, I'll sit on Sharon. I'm telling Debs. I'm telling Debs.
Locals and people from Occupy got under lorries, and then of course the law got involved. It went to court, and then of course the old bell turned up. Many vans, many police personnel, and of course some bailiffs. They look pretty tough.
I have panic attacks. I don't feel confident anywhere apart from coming out into the green areas where I can be calm and peaceful.
Oi, oi.
They may be tough, but everybody needs a good hug.
I keep telling you guys, it's a basketball court, not track and field.
We were arrested under the Public Order Act, and then we were locked up for 24 hours, and then we were taken the next day to Thames Magistrate Court.
Yes.
On Bow Road in East London. and then we went before a judge. Local people had tried every possible lawful angle to try and stop what they felt was totally wrong. Yes, I broke the law, but for the law was broken, but the code of morality was not.
We got arrested under the Public Order Act, and then in the morning we were taken to court, where the judge said we have to pay £200 in fines or be sent to prison, and we refused. And yeah, I was sent to Holloway prison, and I don't know where they were sent to.
How many days did you spend both in the police cells and in the jail?
Since Tuesday, 4 days. I was released yesterday.
And why didn't you just pay the fine, Anita?
Because I don't agree with that, and I would never pay money. I would never comply with that system of destruction and insanity. And it was my conscious choice to not pay that, to be disobedient.
When you say you don't want to pay money into a system that's unjust and insane, can you describe what you mean?
Okay. Well, I just think if you look around what's going on in the world with all these different wars, the war in Afghanistan, not even that, but what's happening today in our own country, this crisis, and just there's no care for human life. There's so much misery and destruction, not only of human lives, but of the planet, of each other, of animals, and I don't want to be a part of that anymore.
It's Saturday morning, and it's a very busy time on Lee Bridge Road, and there's a sign up that says beep to save Leyton Marsh.
You had a choice, pay 200 quid, pay £200 or go to jail for 5 days, was it?
Yeah. I remember watching the stuff to do with the Olympics in China, and I was horrified, them dragging people out of their homes and bulldozing the old ladies' homes, and they're like 90 years. I thought, oh, it'd never be like that here. It's ridiculous how heavy-handed they've been getting with people.
She sent you down for 5 days in prison?
Yes.
All right, supposing the judge had said 200 quid or 10 years.
200 quid or 10 years? Well, I think that's a different ball game. but this is...
Yeah, so what would you have done then?
What would have I done? Well, I probably would have paid the 200 quid.
All right, let's say he said a month.
The original estimate for the London Olympics was 2-point-something billion. It then went to 7 billion. It then went to 9 billion. Some people are now estimating the cost of hosting the London Olympics to be 24 billion. That's for 24 days of sport.
All the places they could have built this. Why here for that? Why? I mean, take a look around you. It's beautiful, it's green. This is totally out of place here. And I can't believe it's here. Considering how many people opposed this in every way they could, I just can't believe it's
What does
here.
that mean for democracy?
Well, it's just a word in this country at the moment. You agree with me, don't you, Nelson? He's a cynical dog, you see, and I'm a cynical person, but this has made me more cynical.
I think the Olympics is corrupt now. I'm sorry. I think it's like the wheels are all made of money. That's all it is. Every motion it makes is based on money. Nothing else. Not on people. Because if it was, you, as a normal, just a small person in this world who's just one little drop in like the river, Hash, stop it. I can't understand how they can't make sense of it and use the Olympics in a way which actually benefits people.
A steamroller here, working, operating on Leyton Marshes, steamrolling Leyton Marshes. The steamroller is a large, heavy machine. Its purpose is to flatten everything in its path.
I think the starting point is that the London 2012 Organising Committee is a public body in receipt of public funds, and they're behaving in many ways like a commercial organisation, entering into contracts without considering the ethical dimension of these contracts. I think they should have an ethical procurement policy. They have become tainted by the human rights abuses linked to some of their sponsors, and that's become a major problem for London 2012. Sponsors such as Dow Chemical, Rio Tinto, BP, companies that have been linked to environmental damage, to human rights abuses, and by entering into a relationship with these companies without properly considering their impacts on human rights and the environment, they become tainted by some of these impacts and associations. It's a branding issue.
Yeah, like Coca-Cola and McDonald's, the two big ones.
Dow?
Yeah. Well, this is endless of questionable sponsors.
What's wrong with Coke? What's wrong with McDonald's? What's wrong with Dow? What's wrong with BP? What's wrong with Rio Tinto Zinc?
I don't know, the Olympics is about health and sport. It just seems really counterproductive to be having Coke and McDonald's sponsoring, because it's the complete antithesis of the message of what sport is supposed to be about.
When you consider that Coca-Cola and McDonald's, you know, all them brothers are running things, you do wonder about who it's actually for, you know. I know I ain't got a ticket for the Olympics.
It extends the suffering of Bhopal.
And obviously the contribution.
Blood of the Bhopal people on this wrap. There is the blood of Bhopal. This is why we're putting the wrap up today.
I'm Farah Edwards Khan and I am from Bhopal, and I was there when the accident happened in 1984.
How many people were killed, do you think?
8,000 people were killed on the night, and 500,000 people have been affected by the chemicals, and people still continue to suffer as we speak.
What was the company that owned the chemical plant that exploded?
It was a subsidiary of Dow Chemicals. It was Union Carbide.
What do you think of Dow Chemical?
I think Dow Chemical should get their act together and give justice to the people of Bhopal.
What are they mining in West Papua?
It's a goal to present it to winner and gold medalists. This goal, I bring it from around the world, including West Papua, to present it to the to London. For us, it's like insult. You know, we are still crying. We're crying for our lands, our mountain, our forests, but the people who are receiving this smile on top of the blood on top of the sadness, on top of the bones of our people.
Can you tell me again what your estimate is for the death toll at the hands of chemicals and various stuff that Dow have made?
The figure runs in millions. There are 4 million people still suffering from the effects of Agent Orange in Nepal. Well, to put it crudely, it's money. Dow Chemical paid £100 million for the sponsorship.
To whom?
To the International Olympic Committee.
Well, before that night we were 10 members in the family, 4 brothers, 4 sisters and parents. After that night actually, 7 people died. And then we were the 3 survivors from our family, I, my sister and my brother. Later in year 2006, my brother committed suicide as he was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. And even I had a stroke in 2005.
They have taken their Dow Chemical and others to court in the United States in order to gain compensation. But for the Vietnamese, who also took them to court,
Dow, the killer, killed thousands of people in Bhopal. They are actually killers. The worst corporation in the world, I would say.
What's a human rights footprint?
It is an impact on human rights, and an adverse impact could be in relation to any right that their activities abuse or contribute to abuses.
When you say a human rights footprint, I imagine a very large foot coming from a great height and squashing people. Is that the kind of thing you mean?
I mean, a footprint is just their actual impact. Clearly, a company such as BP that operate all over the world have many projects where they impact on indigenous rights.
Yeah, you seem very political in the way you speak. Benny Wender from West Papua describes what's happened to his tribal friends as murder, genocide even. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, I think obviously he's a victim of human rights abuses, and presumably then his family and friends have been too, so clearly he has the perspective of a victim. But obviously how he describes violations of his rights might be different to how they'd be described in international human rights law and instruments.